After the events of the first film, Stree, the vengeful spirit who once haunted Chanderi, notices that the villagers have built a statue of her in the town square, a striking monument crowned with an inscription, "O Stree, protect us." Touched, she chooses to leave, sparing the town from her wrath. Yet, as she disappears into the shadows, a distant explosion rocks the outskirts of Chanderi, a harbinger of darkness, foretelling that her absence may invite a new terror. Late that night, a lone woman wanders the empty streets, smoking in the quiet of Chanderi. She has no idea that a headless creature known as Sarata now roams the town, its twisted form lurking in the shadows. As she heads home, the monster's disembodied head attacks her, yanking her into a nearby wall and into what seems like a horrifying, otherworldly dimension. The wall's inscription flickers ominously, reading, "O woman, protect us." The following morning, Chanderi has evolved from a humble village into a bustling small town. Stree's statue is not just a monument but a powerful symbol. Women in Chanderi hold prominent roles, a far cry from other towns bound by tradition. Their rise has been celebrated, making the statue a beacon of change and respect for female power. One morning, Rudra, the librarian, receives an anonymous package, missing pages from the Chanderi Puran. There is a mention of the headless monster in those pages, hinting at an ancient evil stirring once more. Meanwhile, we see Vicky, lost in haunting memories of the mysterious girl from his past, even hallucinating about her in the brightness of day. Rudra urges Vicky to move on, but Vicky snaps, angrily warning Rudra to never bring it up again. Rudra shares his fears about the ominous pages, but Vicky dismisses them. Seeing him persistently depressed, Vicky's father advises him to marry, hoping it will free his mind. He also comments on the alarming decrease in the town's unmarried and modern females population but attributes it to their migration for better opportunities, a fact the townsfolk accept. Soon after, we meet Chitta, Biddu's girlfriend, who gently advises Vicky to let go of the past. However, that very night, she is abducted by Sarata. A beggar, who sees the creature take her, speaks of the horror he's witnessed, confirming that Chanderi is indeed haunted once more. Amid this chaos, the girl from Vicky's past reappears, rekindling his hope and joy. She brings grim news: Sarata has returned, targeting Chanderi's women. Sarata is none other than Chandraban, a former village head who, years ago, brutally murdered Stree, a defiant courtesan, by beheading her on her wedding night. In his cruelty, he burned her and her husband alive in front of their young daughter. Stree's spirit avenged her death by killing Chandraban, but now, his vengeful spirit has risen, targeting women who challenge tradition. Realizing Stree's power is needed to confront Sarata, Vicky, Biddu, and Rudra seek out Jana, once possessed by Stree's spirit, and persuade him to return to Chanderi under the pretense of a play. Though he resists, he finally agrees, leaving his life in Delhi, where he cared for a troubled wolf. As the group searches for Stree in the old fort, Sarata launches a terrifying attack, dragging Jana's spirit into his lair while his body remains outside, trapped in a silent, unearthly limbo. For a moment, they fear Jana is lost, but he suddenly regains consciousness and warns everyone to flee. Sarata pursues them, closing in on Jana, biting him on his buttocks as he fights back desperately. Rudra shouts for Jana to throw alcohol on Sarkata's head. Jana follows through, setting Sarata ablaze momentarily, allowing the group to escape back to the village. Through this encounter, Jana gains a terrifying new ability, the power to sense Sarkata's presence. As they regroup, Sarata strikes again, nearly choking Vicky to death, only for the mysterious girl to intervene. She uses Stree's powerful braid to fend off Sarata, but he proves too strong, shattering the statue of Stree in a violent display of dominance, plunging the town into terror. The next day Vicky, Rudra and Biddu thank the girl for saving them. When asked about her reason of her sudden disappearance which eventually led Vicky to be so depressed, she shares that she had been studying black magic to enhance her powers, preparing for a battle she knew was inevitable. She realizes that Sarata preys upon modern women, those who dare to defy patriarchal norms. Jana, deeply shaken, recounts his experience in Sarata's lair, a nightmarish realm filled with bald, terrorized, yet still living women who had been abducted from Chanderi. The town falls into a frenzy. The women, now gripped with fear, blame Vicky for Stree's disappearance, believing his past actions have unleashed Sarata. They demand he take responsibility for this new threat. In this moment of despair, the girl appears to Vicky, assuring him that his pure heart and soul make him worthy of the fight. She gifts him a magical dagger, the weapon capable of destroying Sarata. They devise a plan to lure Sarata out with a provocative dance by Shama, Rudra's former lover, known for her beauty and grace. Sarata appears, but Vicky hesitates, overwhelmed by Sarata's power. Seizing the moment, Sarata possesses all the men protecting Shama and abducts her as well. The possessed men start asserting dominance over the women of the town under Sarata's influence. Rudra receives yet another anonymous letter leading them to a psychiatric hospital. There, they encounter a descendant of Sarata, who reveals a chilling secret: only a being that is neither man, woman, nor beast can defeat Sarata, and the battle can only be won if the Stree sacrifice herself in his lair. With no other option, the girl merges with Vicky using her black magic, creating a hybrid form that can enter Sarata's realm. Inside, they find the women Sarata has imprisoned. The girl, resigned to her fate, explains that she must sacrifice herself to defeat Sarata. Heartbroken, Vicky resists, but she pleads with him to save the others, sealing her own fate. While Vicky is reaching for the imprisoned women, Sarata appears and starts to drain the girl's spirit. This causes the spirits of the imprisoned women to start draining as well. Vicky, realizing that the girl and all the imprisoned women will die this way, attacks with the enchanted dagger, slicing Sarata's head in half. But each severed head regrows, multiplying his monstrous power. Just as they're nearly overcome, Bhaskar, Jana's werewolf companion, arrives, launching a final assault. Yet, Sarata transforms into a fearsome, ultimate form, defeating all of them and separating Stree's braid from the girl, stripping her of her powers. In a final, desperate plea, the girl calls upon her mother, the original Stree, who emerges in a ghostly form, radiant and fierce. Without hesitation, Stree confronts Sarata, the monstrous foe, in an intense clash of supernatural powers. But even with all her might, Sarata's dark strength proves overwhelming. As the battle rages, the girl urges Vicky to retrieve the ancient magical sword from its stone mound, the very weapon Stree had once wielded to end Sarata's mortal life. Fueled by his pure heart and unwavering love, Vicky pulls the sword free and hands it to Stree, amplifying her power beyond measure. Armed with the sword, Stree strikes Sarata, delivering a grievous blow. Strengthened by the prayers and blessings of Chanderi's women, she drags the monstrous spirit into a swirling pit of lava, obliterating his physical form and releasing the village from his curse. The imprisoned women are freed, and the possessed men return to themselves, finally liberated from Sarata's control. In the aftermath, Chanderi hails Vicky and his friends as heroes. The girl, now appearing with an air of calm, reveals her true identity: she is Stree's daughter, long deceased, who has been returning to the village as a spirit. Her sole purpose had been to guide her mother's restless soul to salvation, completing a mission that transcended life and death. In a final, tender moment with Vicky, she tells him her name, only to him, leaving it a mystery to the audience. Though their bodies cannot unite, she assures him that their souls are bound forever. As she vanishes, she merges with Vicky's soul, a promise of eternal love. Post-credit scene, in a light-hearted twist, Bhaskar jokes with Jana about setting him up with Stree's daughter, which Jana flatly refuses. Bhaskar then mentions a new danger lurking in Delhi, a vampire-like creature draining people's blood. Mid-credits scene, Sarata's charred remains arrive at the psychiatric hospital, where they possess his descendant, hinting at yet another chapter in the supernatural saga. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like my work and content, please subscribe the channel and don't forget to like and share. It really helps us to bring more such content in the future.